Well, all right. Thank you all for coming on such short notice. It's going to really be fun. This is Liza Wataghani, and she's going to introduce herself.
So my interest in choral began, I think, when I was a year old. And usually you don't remember what happens when you're a year old, and I certainly don't remember what happened to me at that age, but I know from family lore that I was given this string of choral on my first birthday. And that would be typical in many European cultures. I happen to be German, but if I had been English or Italian or Spanish or French or any other European nationality, I probably also would have been given a string of choral on my first birthday. Because Europeans believed that choral protected young children, that it protected the bloodstream because of the color. So there's been a lot of myth about choral because of its resemblance to blood being the source of life. So I wasn't conscious of all that. So when I became an adult, I did a lot of traveling. I lived in West Africa for a time, and when I was in Morocco, I started getting interested in choral, and I was in my early 20s by then. And it was just so beautiful, and the tribes, the Berbers, how they wore it, it was so exotic and so different from anything I'd ever experienced in Europe. And that was how I got started. So there should be some Berber pieces on display. We're going to kind of do an interactive presentation, I think, because I'm not sure how else we can do it. So the Berber things are displayed around. Some of you, I'm sure, have already looked right before you sat down. And I'll take you through some of the photographs so that you can see the amazing global distribution of choral, which is pretty shocking. You know, we think of modern global trade and all that. This has been going on forever. You know, I can't think of a place in the world where there isn't choral. But it all came from the Mediterranean. And it all came from Italy, which wasn't really a country then. They were city-states like Naples and Florence and so forth. And it was a huge industry. And it started maybe in about the 12th century that we have a recorded history of it, but it did definitely start before, because even Pliny the Elder, who dates several thousand years ago, wrote about it and talked about it. And for example, we've got this piece, all these pieces are here for you to see. So the Bedouins, for example, in Yemen, would have used it in this manner. And Yemen is in the Middle East. It's pretty far away. And if you'd like, we can pass these around and you can look at them closely. So still, you know, in a similar part of the world, Kazakhstan, again, choral almost always used with silver. And some Europeans did use it with gold, but other cultures did not. Now, you probably wouldn't even associate choral with the Americas, but when I say the Americas, of course, I'm speaking primarily of Central America, so that choral was found in Mexico. It would have been brought by the Spaniards. Choral was found could be found in Arizona. Some of you, I'm sure, know that. You've been to Arizona, you've visited jewelry stores, and probably seen choral there. And in fact, the early missionaries who were trying to get the Native Americans to convert to Christianity often used choral as a bribe, so that if you're willing to take on the cross, I will give you some choral. Now, you want me to convert to another religion if you give me some choral? I might do that too, because you can always go back to your original religion. You don't have to tell that to the Franciscan fathers, you know, who are under pressure to get converts, you know. And this happens to be Afghanistan, again, you know, far away from where choral originated.